Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of the Recap Sports Check-In. So, okay, let me tell you something. Remember that I was telling you about the Florida curse last episode, well, the intro? Well, yeah, let's dive into that a little bit on this episode, okay? Because we're gonna need it. Let's start with the only team that did not let us down this weekend, which are the Florida Panthers, okay? Let's just try and recap that a little bit before we go into the tragedy of the Dolphins and the Heat this weekend, because that was not good, let me tell you. Well, last night the Florida Panthers were able to win against the Edmonton Oilers after two straight losses for the past week and a half. A pretty entertaining game if you ask me, because there were 11 goals in total. Let's break it down. First period, we had 3 goals, with the Florida Panthers had 2. That means they went to the second period with advantage. Then the second period was not so good because they only scored 1. That means the other 3 went to the Oilers. And in the last period, we had the 4 goals, where 3 of them were the Florida Panthers, with the last one in the 13th minute made by Carter Verhaeghe. So that finally gave the Florida Panthers the victory they needed. Their current standing is 40 points at the moment, which is, not bad, but we can do better. We can still do better. With their next game being December 18th at 9:30 against Minnesota. Hopefully they can keep that winning streak. I know they had it not too long ago, so I know we can go back. We can go back to that. So I have all my faith in them. Let's see how the Florida curse affects us this week, because we have a bunch of games this week. So let's just go a little by little, and hopefully the Panthers, since they won last night, or since I'm posting this the next day, probably two nights ago, they can keep that winning streak, and they can go back to it. They come back to the top. We're going back to the top. Okay, so next. All right, let's get into another touchy subject. Let's get to the Miami Dolphins, shall we? Because that was an interesting Sunday. So, according to the Chase, the Miami Dolphins lost this weekend against the Houston Texans 20-12, which was painful, to say the least, to watch. Let me focus on this again. I am no expert, but I am, getting to watch football more and more, and I don't need to be a head coach to see that their strategies or whatever they're trying to do is not working. We definitely saw Tua making some questionable throws. He got sacked once. They got intercepted twice, which was a mess. First quarter was not so bad, but then everything started to go downhill from there. The second quarter got even more messier. Jalen Waddle was out with a knee injury around the mid-second quarter. He wasn't able to play the entire game, so there's that. Then they went on to the second half losing, and then in the third quarter, we finally saw Tyreek Hill, which was nowhere to be found in the entire game. He didn't really do a lot, and basically, it's not that I'm saying that he cost us this, because it was a team effort, but damn, nobody was giving anything on Sunday. Like, very, very questionable choices from everybody. Also, I don't really remember if it was the third or fourth quarter already, but another wide receiver, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing his name, but Carter DeBose was carted off the field because he got a head injury, so he was, completely discarded off the game and taken to the hospital. Then they released a statement that he was stable, he was fine, but this was his third game of the season, I believe. So yeah, it was not good. So it was all a mess. Like, really, it was all a mess. Currently the Miami Dolphins sat at a 6-7, so they would need a perfect finish to reach the postseason, which is very unlikely looking back of what we've seen so far. Miracles happen, but it's very uphill. Like, it's not gonna be easy. If we were able to pull it off, fine. It's not looking good though. A lot of people were also saying about Mike McDaniel not doing his best. A lot of people want him out. I was reading an article the other day. This is just a personal take. That a lot of people wanted his head, as in, you're out, but they're kind of giving him kind of like an opportunity there, because Tua was obviously out several weeks at the beginning of the season, so that affected the Dolphins a lot. No lie there, but would a better head coach take another approach and try to make the team win when their quarterback is not in play. I don't know. That's kind of hard, but it's questionable overall. It's very hard to determine, but they say that Mac McDaniel still has a shot in this. He's not hanging by a thread there with his job. So let's see how the postseason. I'm sorry. Let's see how this season ends. If they reach the postseason, we'll be able to see more of Mike McDaniel and what his jobs probably will stand. So it's not looking good, but we still have 3 more games to go. Next one is on Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers. So yeah, I guess we'll see. They're not doing amazing either, but Dolphins level, I don't know. That's that my expertise does not reach there, but is it looking good again? No, it is not. So yeah, I guess we'll see again on Sunday, and I don't know if those chances of playoffs will increase or decrease. We'll see. And last but not least, let's just go over the Miami Heat, shall we? Because oh my God, it's been a week for the Miami Heat, honestly, because all these Jimmy rumors are not making anything easy. Okay, so my sources tell me that this is all talk, right? That they're not actually wanting to trade him. He's not, actually thinking of leaving. But I've been reading there's a lot of speculation. We don't really know. There's a million articles saying this and that. His agent fighting on Twitter with journalists and stuff like that, saying that, they would say it if it was actually like that. But there's just so many information online that you don't know who to, you don't know who to believe, because damn. They told me that, they wouldn't trade Jimmy unless they would have someone secured in the Heat that would take the role of Jimmy Butler. But, I guess it's just hard to tell, because it's been a drama this past week. It's been, giving drama, to be honest. They played last night or 2 nights ago at the time I'm posting this with the Detroit Pistons. I wasn't able to watch the game, but I was following it through an app. So it was, I thought that they were not going to win because they were not looking good by halftime. I think they were losing. And then they finally, miraculously, Tyler Hero, which I was able to mention the first episode or intro. This is the first episode. He scored a 3-pointer last 5 seconds to get them to tie and go to overtime. They went to overtime in 114 points both. Unfortunately, this was not enough because they lost on overtime by a single point. They lost 124 to 125. Jimmy Butler was the top scorer, but it's just they're currently, I think, 6th in the Eastern Conference. So yeah, it's not really, really bad, but it's not good either. I think we're all standing except for the Dolphins, which is bad. I think all 3 teams are just trying to make it through this season. Panthers gonna have a hall pass because they just won the Stanley Cup, so whatever. But yeah, the Heat are just surviving there. They also had a winning streak, I think, of 4 games, and they lost last night, which is a shame. So yeah, they let me down this week, to be honest. I wanted to make this video more upbeat, but you can't be, really, except for the Panthers. The Panthers kind of, they were able to break through, but damn, still. Next game for the Heat is on Friday the 20th at 8 against Oklahoma City. We'll see how that goes. They're not doing bad. It's just, one bad game can, anyone can have a bad game. They had a winning streak, so let's just see if we can go back to that just a little, okay? We just need to tweak it a little, and then I think we'll be back. I have faith. I have faith on all of them. So let's see if this weekend can bring us some joy, sports-wise, and yeah, just be able to celebrate like we did last weekend. Not hard, feels good, so let's just go back to that, okay? Let's just break this curse once and for all, and can we all win? Can we all just be friends and just celebrate all together? Can we? All right, this was the first episode, so I'll see you guys next week for another recap sports check-in. Thank you. Bye.